Respected viewer, Assalamu alaikum. Every year, more than 25 million human beings travel this area. For most, it takes less than 1 hour. Viewers, I came here, International Airport, New Delhi. Now you could see here inside the New Delhi International Airport. I am exploring Delhi to Jeddah. I hope that you enjoy the historical place. I will describe historical place, historical event. Now let's go to umrah. Viewer, we continue watch and stay tuned to this video. You will see the historical place, important place of Saudi during this journey. Now this time I am inside the aeroplane. Every year, more than 25 million human beings travel this route. For most, it takes less than 6 hours. For the first 14,000 years of Islam, the same journey took between 30 days and 4 weeks and often cost people their lives. This is the story of the approx 7,000 kilometers between Jeddah Airport to New Delhi Airport. A strip of asphalt that carries more history per square meter than almost any road on the earth. Now this time we are traveling outside of the Jeddah to Makkah. Please stay tuned. Until 1975, every single pilgrim who ever came from India, Indonesia, Nigeria, or Central Asia, first step went to Arabian soil here at Jeddah ancient port. This was called Bab al-Bahr, the sea gate, and for centuries it was known among pilgrims as Bab al-Dumu, the gate of tears, because family wept when they finally saw land after months at sea, and wept again when they realized many would never return home. 26th June 632 CE, 5 AH, the first Indian Muslim, led by a Kerala king's envoy, landed here even before Jeddah formally existed. 707 CE, Caliph Walid ibn Abd al-Malik built the first wooden pier. 1173 CE, Salahuddin brother Turan Shah fortifies the port against crusade raids. 1517, Ottoman Sultan Selim takes Jeddah. The city became the official Hajj port of the Caliphate. 1858, the massacre of Christians in Jeddah and the British-French bombardment. 1947, over 40,000 Indian and Pakistani pilgrims stranded for weeks after partition right cancel ships. For 13 centuries, pilgrims left Jeddah on this exact track, walking, one camels, one donkeys, in litters carried by slaves. The first stop was always the same, Birkat al-Hajj, the pilgrim's pool. (864 CE), the Karamatin raids, Ismaili rebels massacre caravans only 10 kilometers outside Jeddah. 1690, the Great Plague Caravan, 60% of pilgrims die before reaching Makkah. 1831, Ibrahim Pasha, Egyptian army, marches this road to crush the first Saudi state. 1916, 1916, the Arab revolt, Lawrence of Arabia and Sharif Hussein forces ambush Ottoman supply columns on this very track. 45 kilometers from Jeddah airport, the highway cuts through the Sarh mountain range. To your left rises Jabal Hira, the mountain of light, where Prophet Muhammad received the first revelation in 610 CE. 629 CE, 8 AH, the Prophet himself traveled this road in the opposite direction during the conquest of Makkah. 930 CE, the Karmatians steal the black stone and carry it back along this route. It remained in their possessions for 22 years. 1787, Saudi forces under Saud ibn Abdul Aziz ambushed an Ottoman caravans here, killing 20,000 pilgrims in one of the worst massacres in Hajj history. 1979, modern Eco, Juyaman al-Otebi rebels passed this way secretly before sieging the Grand Mosque. Every tyrant who ever tried to control the Hajj had to control this narrow pass. It is the throat of the pilgrims. This is Wadi Fatima, named after the Prophet's daughter. For centuries, it was the most dangerous part of the journey. Flash flood in archival footage, ruined Ottoman forts. 1630, flash flood drowns 10,000 pilgrims in one night. 1701, Bedouin raid wipe out the entire Indian caravans. 1807, Wahhabi forces occupy the valley forts and impose their austere rules on passing pilgrims. 1924, the final battle of the Hashemite Saudi War. King Ali defeated army flees back through this valley. 65 kilometers from Jeddah, every pilgrim must stop here or at one of the other miqats to enter the state of Ihram. This is the invisible border where the mortal world ends and the scared begins. 629 CE, Prophet Muhammad himself done Ihram at Jurana before the peaceful conquest. 1953, first year Saudi government built a proper masjid instead of the world tent. 2024 over 5,000 buses stop here every single day during Ramadan. The road climb again. Suddenly Makkah appear. If when suddenly Makkah appear, I will show you. 14th, for 14th century, when pilgrim crested this rise and saw the valley of Makkah for the first time, they would dismount, fall to their knees, and weep. Even today, with air conditioning and Wi-Fi on the bus, you will still hear grown men cry when they recite Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. Ibn Jubair, 1183 CE, describing the moment in his famous Rihla. Black and white footage of 1950 pilgrim walking barefoot over the rock. Present day, drone shoot hundreds of buses entering the city at once, headlight forming a river of light. Until 1978, the only way into Mecca was through the narrow, terrifying Qada Pass. King and paupers alike had to squeeze through the same rocky defile. Today, a tunnel named after King Faisal sells 10,000 vehicles per hour. 1908, the first car ever to enter Mecca, a Ford Model T driven by Sharif Hussein's son. 1979, Grand Mosque siege. Rebels used this pass to smuggle weapons. 2025, first fully electric pilgrims buses entering silently. Now this time approximately 80 kilometers is about 2 hours. Less than 1 hour by bus. 14 centuries of tears, blood, hope and prayer compressed into 70 minutes of tarmac and concrete. From the moment the wheels touched down at King Abdul Aziz International Airport to the moment the pilgrims' eyes first fall on the Kaaba, every grain of sand on this road has a story, and every story ends the same way, with the same words the Prophet taught us when he traveled this road himself. Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. Here I am, O Allah, here I am. Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik means here I am, O Allah, here I am. In credit rolls over live footage of Tawaf at sunrise. Respected viewers, I am explaining Al Masjid Al Nabawi, the Prophet Mosque, built by Prophet Muhammad himself in 622 CE 1 AH, immediately after the Hijrah migration. Contains the Rawad Mubarak, the green carpeted area between the Prophet's tomb and his original mimbar, described as a garden from the Garden of Paradise. Tomb of the Prophet Abu Bakr Radiallahu Anha and Umar Radiallahu Anha. Current visitor rule: non-Muslim not permitted inside the mosque precincts. The Green Dome and the Sacred Chamber Al-Hujra As-Sarifa. The famous Green Dome, built 1837, painted green in 1839, marked the location of Prophet's house and final resting place. First dome over the tomb was built in 678 CE by Umayyad Khalifah al-Walid. Jannat al-Baqi cemetery directly opposite the eastern gate of the Prophet Mosque, burial place of over 10,000 Sahaba companion. Fatima az-Zahra radhiyallahu anha, daughter of the Prophet. Hassan ibn Ali radhiyallahu anha. 4. Shia Imam Hussein Ali Zain al-Abidin Muhammad al-Bakir Jafar as-Sadiq. Uthman ibn Affan radhiyallahu anha, the third Khalifa. Most wives of the Prophet al-Mu'min except Khadija and Maymunah. Now this time current status: simple unmarked graves as per Wahhabi Salafi practice since 1926. Now I am describing Masjid-e-Quba, the very first mosque in Islam, founded 622 CE on the day the Prophet arrived in Medina. Praying 2 rakah here, reward of 1 umrah. Hadith in Sahih Muslim. Rebuilt many times, present structure from 1986 but retains original Qibla direction. And now I will describe the 7 mosque, Sab-e Masjid area, site of the Battle of the Trench, Ghazwa Khandak 627 CE 5 AH. Masjid al-Fatah on the hill where the Prophet prayed for victory. Masjid Salman al-Farsi, Masjid Abu Bakr, Masjid Umar, Masjid Ali, etc. etc. Much of the original trench area is now built over, but the small mosque remain. Mount Uhud and Martyr Cemetery, Shuhada Uhud, site of the second major battle 625 CE 3 AH. Graves of 70 Muslim martyrs including Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib radhiyallahu anha, uncle of the Prophet and Sayyid as-Shuhada. The Prophet said, Uhud is a mountain that loves us and we love it. Masjid al-Qiblatain, Masjid al-Qiblatain, mosque of the 2 Qiblas, the only mosque in Islamic history where the Prophet led prayer toward Jerusalem, then received revelation mid-prayer to turn toward Makkah. Quran 2:144. Original mosque from 623 CE, present building, now this time modern. You are seeing this is the Arafat land, Arafat ka Maidan. Site of the first 3 Khalifa houses, now inside the Prophet's Mosque extension. Houses of Abu Bakr, Umar and the original houses of Fatima and Ali, Dar Fatima, were all adjacent to the mosque and are now under the white marble courtyard. Respected viewer, be attention. The plain of Arafat ka Maidan. Arafat is not just a desert valley 22 km east of Mecca. It is the emotional, spiritual and historical climax of the entire Hajj. On the 19th of Dhul Hijjah every year, between noon and sunset, more than 3 million human beings wearing nothing but two simple pieces of unstitched cloth, stand on this barren ground and beg their Lord for forgiveness. The Prophet Muhammad declared with absolutely finality, Hajj is Arafah, narrated by Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, and others, classed Sahih. Without standing on this plain, there is no Hajj. Without standing on this place, there is no Hajj. Here, geography and first impression. Arafat is a wide, flat valley surrounded by low, rocky hills. The most prominent features is Jabal ar-Rahman, the Mount of Mercy. Jabal ar-Rahman, the Mount of Mercy, a small, unimpressive hill only 70 meters high, rising from the center like a lonely island in a sea of white ihram. When you first arrive at Fajr on the day of Arafah, the entire plain is already covered with a carpet of pilgrims, tent, and mist from millions of breaths in the cool morning air. By Zuhr, the temperature soared above 45 degrees. The ground burned the bare feet, and the sun turns the valley into a furnace. Yet no one complained. This is the place where complaints are turned into. Dear, finally we will go next place, and raise your finger and press the share button and press your finger one like button and try to subscribe it. And now this time we are ready to go next place. However, respected viewer, I want to define Islamic background of Arafat. So please stay tuned to my channel. Arafat is not just a field of sand. It is a sacred landmark selected by Allah Himself for one of the pillars of Islam. On this single day, the day of Arafah, Allah frees more people from hellfire than on any other day. The Prophet Muhammad said, "There is no day on which Allah frees more servants from hell than the day of Arafah." Sahih Muslim. This is a day when angels descend, skies open, and the mercy of Allah envelops the earth. Prophet Adam and Hawa, Eve. It is narrated that they reunited on this land after being sent down from paradise. Prophet Abraham. It is believed that during the rituals of Hajj, Ibrahim stood here when Allah commanded him to proclaim the pilgrims of humanity. Prophet Muhammad, every step he took here carried spiritual weights. This was the place of his farewell sermon, the summary of Islam, the message to all humanity. The final sermon, Islam's charter of humanity. On the 9th of Dhul-Hijjah in his. Respected viewer, I am near the Makkah and 84 number counter. Here we are getting Jam water. Respected viewer, now this time inside I am hotel in Makkah Tower and taking my lunch. I am very thirsty due to this reason, taking lunch. After lunch I will tour you more places. I will explore you more places. Stay tuned to my channel. In the center of the world stands a simple, almost savory cube of stone draped in black cloth. It is only 13-meter high, 11-meter wide, and 12-meter long. It has no light inside, no decoration on its wall, no throne, no status, no painting. Yet for one-third of humanity, this empty cube is the most beloved object on earth. It is called Al-Kaaba, Al-Musarrafa, the honored Kaaba, and for 14 centuries every Muslim on the planet has turned his or her face toward it 5 times a day in prayer. An ancient house. Hey, respected viewers, now I came here in near Quba Mosque, Quba Masjid. I will describe it. Please stay tuned. Respected viewer, Masjid Quba, the first mosque of Islam and the mosque of Taqwa, 6 kilometers south of Masjid. Respected viewers, thank you for listening. Continue. Masjid Aisha, also known as Masjid Al-Tanim, is one of the most important mosques in Makkah. It is located about 7 kilometers from Masjid Al-Haram, and millions of Muslims visit it every year. The mosque is named after Aisha radiallahu anha, the beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, who performed umrah from this place. Masjid Aisha is famous because it is a miqat for the people who want to perform umrah while staying in Mecca. A miqat is a special place where a Muslim must enter the state of ihram before beginning umrah. When Aisha radiallahu anha could not complete her umrah due to a medical reason, the Prophet instructed her brother to take her to Tanim, where she put one ihram and completed her umrah. Because of this, the mosque here is known as Masjid Aisha. The masjid is very beautiful and peaceful. It has clean wudu areas, wide prayer halls, and modern facilities to help the visitor. People come here day and night, and the area is always full of spirituality. Many buses, taxis, and cars bring pilgrims to this masjid so they can wear ihram and begin their umrah with ease. Masjid Aisha reminds us of the love and respect the Prophet had for his family. It also shows how Islam makes worship easy for everyone. The masjid is a symbol of guidance, mercy, and the strong connection Muslims have with the Sunnah of the Prophet. In conclusion, Masjid Aisha is not just a place for wearing ihram. It is a place of history, faith, and spiritual blessings. It plays an important role in the journey of millions of Muslims who come to Mecca seeking closeness to Allah. It truly stands as one of the most blessed and meaningful masjid in the holy city. Concentrate your attention inside. To understand the importance of Masjid Aisha, we must look at the story behind it. The masjid is named after Aisha bint Abu Bakr, the beloved and respected wife of Prophet Muhammad. During the Prophet's farewell Hajj, Aisha was unable to complete her umrah because she was unwell. She felt sad that she could not perform the same act of worship as the other Muslims. When she told the Prophet about this, he shows her kindness and understanding. He instructed her brother Abdul Rahman ibn Abu Bakr to take her to Tan'im, which is just outside the boundary of the Haram. There, she entered the state of Ihram, returned to Makkah, and completed her Umrah. Because of this event, the masjid at Tan'im became known as Masjid Aisha. This story teaches us many lessons. It shows the mercy and gentleness of Prophet Muhammad. It also shows that Islam is a religion that gives ease to people and makes worship possible for everyone. The masjid stands today as a reminder of this beautiful example. Masjid Aisha is famous because it is a designated miqat. A miqat is a place where Muslim must put one ihram, the special white clothing worn for Hajj and Umrah. Before starting the pilgrims, people staying in Mecca often travel to Masjid Aisha to wear ihram and begin another Umrah. Because of this, the masjid is always active day and night. Pilgrims come in group, families or individually. Many buses, car and taxi continuously travel between this masjid and Masjid al-Haram. The masjid itself is modern, large and beautifully designed. It has spacious prayer halls for both men and women. The wudu, ablution areas are clean and well maintained. There are many drinking water points and washrooms are available to serve the high number of visitors. Outside the masjid, one can see people helping each other, some guiding others about ihram, some reciting talbiyah, and many preparing with excitement for their umrah. What makes Masjid Aisha even more special is the feeling of peace and devotion that the place carries. Pilgrims often describe the atmosphere as calm, inspiring, and spiritually uplifting. Standing in this masjid, people remember the footsteps of Aisha Rahmatullah alayhi, one of the most intelligent, wise, and beloved women in Islamic history. They also remember the kindness of the Prophet, who ensured she did not miss her chance to complete her act of worship. Masjid Aisha also represents the importance of women in Islamic tradition. Naming the masjid after Aisha Rahmatullah anha is a great honor. She was a teacher, a scholar, and the narrator of many hadiths. Her life continues to inspire me. Respected viewer, we are now reached the Mount Uhud, the mount that loves us and we love it. On the northern horizon of Medina, a long reddish brown mountain range stretches like a sleeping giant. It is only 1077 meters at its highest point, neither the tallest nor the most beautiful mountain in Arabia. Yet no mountain on earth has been given a greater honor. Prophet Muhammad looked at it one day and said, Uhud is a mountain that loves us and we love it. Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. The single sentence turn a piece
Once again, I am
of
outside
rock
of the Masjid
into one
Aisha.
of the
Respected viewer, I
holiest
am going to
site
speak
in
about a
Islam.
very special and
Uhud
important
is
mosque, masjid in the
Uhud
holy
is
city
not
of
just
Mecca.
a mountain,
It is called
it is a
Masjid
witness,
Aisha,
a teacher,
also known as
a
Masjid
graveyard,
at
and a
Tan'im.
permanent
This
reminder
mosque,
of the
this
most
masjid is connected to the
painfully
life of
yet
one of the
most
most
instructive
respected women
day in the life
Islam, Aisha
of the
bint
early
Abu
Muslim
Bakr,
community.
the beloved wife.
Respected viewer, listens properly. The battle that shaped Islam. 7th Sawwal, 3 23 March 625 CE. The Battle of Uhud was the second major confrontation between the Muslims of Medina and the Quraysh of Makkah after their crushing defeat at Badr the previous year. The Quraysh came with 3,000 soldiers, 700 armored warriors, and 200 cavalry to destroy Islam forever. The Prophet originally wanted to defend from inside Medina, but the younger companion insisted on meeting the enemy in open battle. The Saturday morning, 7th Sawwal, 1,000 Muslims marched out and took position with Mount Uhud behind them as a natural barrier. The Prophet placed 50 archers on a small hill now called Jabal al-Rahmat, the Archers' Hills, and gave them the clearest military order in Islamic history. Do not leave this position under any circumstances. Even if you see bird picking at our bodies, do not move until I send for you. The battle began in the first phase. The Muslim dominated. Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib, Rahmatullah alayhi, the Lion of Allah, cut through the Meccan ranks. The enemy began to flee. Seeing this, most of the 15 archers abandoned their post against the Prophet's order, thinking the battle was over and rushing for war booty. Khalid ibn al-Walid, not yet Muslim, saw the gap, lead his cavalry around the mountain and attacked the Muslims from the rear. Chaos erupted. The Prophet himself was wounded. His front tooth was broken. Blood flowed down his face, and the rumor spread that he had been killed. 70 of the best Muslims were martyred that day, more than 4 times the number lost at Badr. At Uhud was not a total defeat. The Quraysh failed to enter Medina and eventually withdraw. The Muslims learned the hardest lessons in their history. One act of disobedience can turn victory into tragedy. The martyrs of Uhud, Shuhada Uhud. At the foot of the mountain lies a walled cemetery containing the graves of 17 martyrs. The most famous is
Please
the
stick
grave
to my channel,
of
respected
Hamza
viewers.
ibn Abdul
Please
Muttalib,
raise your finger and press
Rahmatullah
the
alayhi, the uncle of the
bell
Prophet
icon,
and the
press
greatest
like
warriors
button and
of
press
his
the subscribe
As-Shuhada,
button. And I am
master
saying
of the martyrs.
just in easy
Next
way.
to him
Now this time I
lies
am hungry and so due to
Musa'ib
this reason
ibn
I am getting
Umar, Rahmatullah
little
alayhi,
lunch here.
the
And you could
first
see here
ambassador of
I am
Islam,
just eating my
Abdullah
lunch.
ibn
Now
Jas,
this time
Rahmatullah alayhi,
I will say
and many
continue,
others whose names
about
are still read on the
Masjid
marble
Aisha.
stones.
Today I am
When the
tell
Prophet
you about
stood
a very
over
special
their
masjid in
bodies
Makkah. It is called
after
Masjid
their
Aisha.
battles,
This masjid is named
he wept
after
and
Aisha.
said, I am a witness over
Rahmatullah,
these
not the
men.
wife
On
of
the day
Prophet
of
Muhammad. She was
judgment
kind,
they will
smart,
be
and very
raised
loved
with
by
their
the
wounds
Prophet.
flowing with
Masjid
musk.
Aisha is a place
The
where
Prophet
Muslims go
ordered
to
that
start their umrah.
they
Before doing
be
umrah,
buried exactly where
we
they
have
fell,
to
still
wear
in their
special white
blood.
cloth or
soaked
ihram.
cloth
Many people
without
go to this
ghusl or
masjid to
kafan.
wear
A
ihram and
unique
then
honor
go to
in
Masjid Al-Haram
Islamic
to do umrah.
history. The
The
Prophet
reason this
visited
masjid
and
is
loved
named Masjid
for
Aisha is
Uhud.
because Aisha once went there to
Every
start
year
her
the Prophet
umrah.
would visit the
She could
martyrs
not
of
complete
Uhud
her first
20
umrah
years
because
after
she
the
was
battle
not well.
in 2020 in
Prophet cared
23
for her
years.
and
He went
told her
one last time
to go
and
to
said,
Tan'im
"Peace be
and
upon
begin
you
her
for
umrah
what
again."
you patently
This
endured,
shows
and
how
excellent
loving
is
and
the
caring our
final
Prophet
home."
was.
The companion asked, "Are
Today
they
Masjid
alive?"
Masjid
He
Aisha
replied,
is a big,
"Their
clean
soul
and very
are
beautiful. Many
green
buses
birds
and
flying
cars
freely in
go there
paradise.
every day.
Even today,
taking people
visitors
who
recite
want
the
to
same
do
salam
umrah. The
when
masjid
they
is
stand
always
at
full
the
of peaceful and happy feelings.
cemetery gate.
Masjid Aisha teach us that respected viewers, raise your finger and press like button and press share button and also press the subscribe button. Now this time we have reached Arafat. In the vast desert east of Makkah lies a place where time seems to slow, a place where every heartbeat feels closer to the Creator. This is Arafat, the heart of Hajj,
Once again,
the soul
I am
of
going in
pilgrims,
next
and
next
the ground
place,
where millions
and I will explore you. I will
stands
show you Mina.
equal
Pronounced
before
as
God.
Mina is one of the
Every year,
most
on the
important
ninth
places
day of
in the
Zilhijjah,
holy
pilgrims
journey
from
of Hajj.
every corner of
It is
the
a small
world
valley
gather
located
here
about 5
on this
kilometers
simple
east
stretch.
of Makkah in Saudi Arabia.
On
Although
this simple
Mina
stretch
looks
of land
simple and
called the
quiet
plain of Arafat,
throughout most
no
of
places,
the year,
no
it
monument,
becomes one
just
of the
dust,
busiest
sky,
and most
endless
spiritual
humanity.
places in the world. During
It
the
is here
days of
that
Hajj,
forgiveness
millions
follows
of
more than
Muslims
anywhere
from every country
one
gather here to worship
Keep in mind,
Allah
it
and
is here
complete
that
their
forgiveness
pilgrims.
flow more than anywhere
Mina
else
is known
on
as the
earth.
city of
Prophet
tents
Muhammad said,
because
Hajj is
during
Arafat.
Hajj it becomes
Prophet Muhammad
filled
said,
with thousands
Hajj is
of
Arafat,
white
meaning
tents
without
stretching
standing
across
here,
the
without
valley.
standing here, the pilgrims